Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and today we have a very deep show. It's going to be titled Recognizing and Deconstructing the World's Boxes and Cages. And, beloveds, this recognizing, deconstructing the world's boxes and cages means simply that we need to start recognizing how we are being programmed. We need to recognize how we're being triggered. We need to recognize what captures our attention, what captures our focus, what captures our emotions, what makes us think, what makes us feel, what makes us the same, and what makes us different or diverse. Also, beloveds, we need to understand the very nature of the words world, boxes, and cages. All are containers, beloveds. All are containers. And you need to understand what is being contained. Not who, but what is being contained. That which is being contained is spiritual. Okay? That which is being contained in this world on planet Earth through its systems of philosophy, religion, dogma, traditions, laws, understandings, knowledge. These are the things that contain you. These are the things that construct the cages, the prisons, the beliefs, the foundations that hold you, that support you, that you stand upon, that you consume of, and that you let consume you, that you have a symbiotic nature and relationship with. And it is time in 2024 to really start becoming spiritually, consciously aware of what contains you, what you allow to contain your essence, your spirit, your truth, your consciousness, your awareness, your unconditional love, your values, that which you now want to give birth to, that which is brand new, that which is not of the old world, not in the way that it was given, presented, built, founded, forced. It is time to deconstruct those things, those ideas, those words, those ways of being, that consciousness, that spiritual consciousness. That spiritual consciousness is lacking. That spiritual consciousness leads to death and decay and destruction and hate and self-hate and low self-esteem and separation and distance from the great Creator, from the great Spirit. And that is what we must deconstruct. That is what we must take apart. That is what we must destroy. That is what we must rebuild. We need to rebuild the container. Okay? But before you can build the container, you have to be very familiar, very intimate, very connected with what the container is for. The design, the physical design of our physical body, our conscious body, our emotional body, our psychic body, our spiritual body, all had definite plans in the design. It was designed to facilitate a certain way. It was designed to expand, to receive and expand its consciousness. It was designed for some things to be received, to be used, utilized, consumed, digested, released as waste, let go of, transformed, transmuted, in order to grow, in order to accommodate higher, deeper, denser, and even ethereal frequencies and spectrums of spiritual light, sound, and wisdom. We are built to receive and contain these things. These are the things that animate us. These are the things that keep us healthy. These are the things that we pass on. This is the knowledge that we must become better containers for, more pure containers for. And that simply means less of our personalities, less of that wanting to be separate from the spirit and more in the flesh. Meaning the world as a container, this earth, was designed as a container for life, for spirit, for essence, for the seeds. And over many millennia, she has held, she has birth, death, and rebirth. She has constructed and deconstructed and rebuilt. And in all of this time, humanity has been being influenced by lower spectrums and frequencies of unconditional love. And those lower frequencies and essences of lower unconditional love have devalued the container, the ability to contain, the observation, the knowing that you are a container, that you are a servant, that you hold sacred space, that you hold sacred spiritual abilities and capabilities to manifest and reshape this world and those who rule this world. Want you to forget that. They have put everything in progress so that you're so focused on survival, so focused on grinding, so focused on getting it done, getting it done, getting it done, that you're not supposed to have any time to just observe. And as you began to awaken to your ability to see, to observe, you began to understand something isn't right. You begin to recognize something isn't right. And you began to construct and deconstruct the matrix that is already formed. This matrix system in ancient times is called Babylon. Babylon has risen and fallen many times. Babylon is getting ready to fall again. Babylon is known as the great whore because all she cares about is satisfying what she wants, what she needs. Everybody else is a trick and a sucker to be played, to be used and thrown away. There is no unconditional love in Babylon the Great whore. There is no love in her. You will find none. You will find all the freaky sex that you want. You will find all the trauma and drama that you want and that you crave and that you are addicted to. But you won't find no unconditional love in Babylon the Great. No, you will not. Because that great whore has none. She has none. And she is that I can't think of the word, but there's a vagina with teeth, a pussy with teeth. She is that. She will chew you up and spit you out. She is the man-eater, okay? She is death. Now, let's get into death a little bit, okay? Because death is a box. And death is one of the first boxes that humanity encountered and feared. Okay? Let me break this all the way down to in the Christian sphere. Okay? In the Christian sphere, there was Adam and Eve created. Before Adam and Eve, there was Adam and Lilith created. Equals out of the earth. Adam was not pleased with Lilith. Lilith was unhappy with Adam. She left. She would not come back. She refused. Because Adam would not change. Adam would not bend, and neither would she. And so, Creator, the Great Spirit, looked upon Adam, observed Adam, and understood, just like he had always known, Adam shouldn't be by himself. So how are we going to help Adam? What are we going to do? Holy Spirit, what your wisdom, what are we going to do? Wisdom, make him what he wants. Make him flesh of his flesh, bone of his bone. Create from him what he wants. And it will know exactly what he wants. It will mirror his desires. What was created from Adam is Eve. Eve is the woman that is the mate of Adam. Eve is just a female version of Adam. Eve is the submissive Adam. Eve is just a feminine Adam. That's it. And in being made from Adam, she received all of Adam's thoughts and feelings and beliefs and consciousness and understanding and longings. She understood that Adam was afraid of death and Adam wanted to be like God. And observing also was the serpent of the garden, the serpent who could not get to Lilith, the serpent who knew he could not get to Adam because Adam was too scared. But he knew the curiosity of Eve, Eve being the weaker version of Adam. He recognized the box, the container that she was. And he knew she could be manipulated. And so the question he asked her was about death, that which fascinated her the most. Being like God meant you did not die. You did not have to go through a death. Being told, oh, if you touch it, if you eat it, God know you're going to be just like him. That's why he told you not to mess with it. That's why he told you not to touch it. Because he know. He don't want you to know. But I know. As soon as you touch it and taste it and give some of it to Adam, y'all going to be just like God. Y'all ain't going to need God no more. Y'all ain't going to die. Y'all going to live forever. Y'all going to be gods. Just like God. He read her heart. He read her hormones. He read her energy field. He looked upon her desires. She was transparent to him. And he used that. Just like when in the book of Job, the assembly met before, assembly of all the heavenly creatures and angels and everything else, okay? All met. And the Great Spirit asked Satan, where have you been? And he said, oh, I've been roaming the earth. Just roaming the earth. Roaming. Just observing. Just seeing, just doing my thing. Just, doing what I do. Just observing your creation in your image. God said, okay. Spirit said, okay. Great Spirit said, okay. All right. I recognize that you've been watching my servant Job, and that there's no one in the earth quite like him. See, just as Satan was able to see Eve's heart and desires and feelings and thoughts and everything else, read her energy, the Great Spirit was able to read Satan's. He understood this being that he had created, that created itself, its personality, See, he didn't create that personality. The devil created his own personality. Okay? And that personality then separated him from the Great Spirit. And in its mind, it believed it could compete, that it was superior. And here we find ourselves, beloveds. Here we find ourselves. There are so many stories where human beings overcome spiritual affliction. And they don't do it through their personality, through their human personality, through the clothing, through the materia, through the material wealth or manifested whatever of this world. It is overcome through spiritual means. The highest frequency to overcome anything is unconditional love. When you are capable of holding space for unconditional love, that means moving your, excuse my French, shit out of the way because it ain't worth nothing. In reality, it's not. When you die, you're going to leave it all here. It ain't worth nothing. But when you move all of that out the way and you make room, you make a womb, you make a container, a solid container for the Holy Spirit to dwell inside of you. You create a temple. You create a vortex. You create an energy center within yourself for that Holy Spirit to align with and to direct and to lead. Your vibrational field becomes bigger. And when you learn to feed yourself what you need and not feast and not hunger on the addictions of drama, gossip, what other people say, what other people think, personality pissing contests, you do well. You do very well. You do well because you're recognizing and you're building that temple. That temple that is needed for the highest of frequencies and spectrums. You become a living antenna. You become like that lightning rod. You attract spiritual wisdom and spiritual knowledge and spiritual unconditional love. And not only do you allow yourself to feel worthy enough to receive it, but you begin to feel worthy enough to radiate it. And as you began to radiate it, you begin noticing your healing. You're healing in so many different ways, in so many different directions, in so many different generations. You're transforming and transmuting. You're metamorphosizing. You're doing what we came here to do. You're finally recognizing and deconstructing and transmuting and rebuilding the world heaven upon earth. That's the destination, beloveds. Don't let nobody fool you. Think on it. Now, beloveds, you know I pull cards. I just wanted to deep dive into this topic, this subject, the way it has, the way it's come to me. And there is so much here. And I chose the colors that I'm wearing. I chose the symbols that are showing, the snake, the dragon. There is a lot of wisdom there. These creatures, these beings with these tongues, these mouths. I want you to understand the communication that needs to be deconstructed and rebuilt between your heart chakra and your crown chakra. And you do that through your throat chakra by speaking blessings, by speaking the truth, by correcting the wrongs. If something is wrong, disagree with it. Don't say, okay. Just say, no, I don't agree with that, and we can agree not to agree. I'm not going to sit here and argue and fight with you, but no. And you go on about your business. You don't worry about it. We're not in pissing contests. We're not seeing who can piss the farthest, or whose shit don't stink. Okay? We're not doing that. You know I pull cards. Let's get into those cards, beloveds. I always start with the Medicine Woman deck. And today is no different. So let us get into that. And the card that came forward is the Ace of Stones. The Ace of Stones. Here we go. Ace of Stones, beloveds. And I have a friend and my daughter are like, Mama, I know you don't know how to use your phone right and this and that and the other, but, you know, I'm tired of looking at you on this little bitty screen, so turn your phone this way and that way and see if you can do it like that. So to take up the whole TV screen, I'm like, okay. And so I fumbled around with that for a good hour or more. And so I hope this is correct. I still see a little black space over here. I don't know how to put that in the full screen or what, but it is what it is, beloveds, and it's about the message. It's not about the messenger. If you couldn't see nothing at all, that don't matter. Long as you could hear the words, that's what matters. Long as you can see the cards, that's what matters. Okay? So don't sit there and grumble over something that really don't make a damn bit of difference. You're distracting yourself. You need something to be imperfect. You need something to be wrong with it. You need something. Stop looking for something to be wrong. Open your mind, open your heart, open your spirit. Listen. It's not about judging the messenger. What she got on? That lipstick don't look. What the hell? What the hell? It's not about that. And if that's what you're about, you're missing the whole point of everything. And you probably can't be reached. You probably gonna stay asleep because you refuse to listen, to get outside of your personality. This is for your spirit to listen to. This is not for your personality. I'm not sitting up here trying to amuse and entertain your personality. And you need to recognize that. You need to recognize where other beings are coming from, what entertainment is and what education is, and how to focus and bring your attention. Okay? First card, the Ace of Stones. Now I'm going to read what the suit of stones means, beloveds. So just bear with me, okay? Stones. The suit of stones in other decks has been called pinnacles or coins. In the original Medicine Woman Inner Guidebook, it was called beads. But it has been renamed stones in order to bring your awareness back to the source of all goods and means of exchange. Earth herself. The substance, earth, is the raw material for everything made on this planet, including its life form, the plants, animals, and human beings. In 21st century technological societies, there is little awareness made of Earth other than the human form. However, the native people of the world have always seen conscious indwelling in all things. It may be easy for you to recognize consciousness in animals, even plants. But what about dirt itself? What about stones? And what about human-created goods? To get a sense of how consciousness might be in everything, try to think of it this way. Imagine the original native people living their harmonious lives close to nature. They lived, acquired wisdom through experiences, and died. Generation after generation was buried in the earth, where bodies were transformed into elemental earth forms once again. Dust to dust, bones and flesh changed into smaller and smaller living organisms, microbiological and chemical life elements, the nutrients that create future bodies through the plants, soil, and stones. Remember, the new feed upon the old, beloveds. Though the soul of the human being has left its material form and expanded into higher levels of life, it has left something of its wisdom in each element from which it had previously taken human form. Literally, the stones are our ancestors. The spirits of our ancestors may live elsewhere in higher vibratory bodies, possibly finished with earth incarnations, but they have left us their life wisdom in the substance of earth itself. All you have to do is be still. All you have to do is connect, because you are dust. All you have to do is connect. All you have to do is get rid of the personality and connect spirit to spirit. How do we discover these wisdoms hidden within things? Natural objects such as plants and stones can be related to in a way similar to how you would relate to human beings. After all, they once were somebody. Now, their elements have entered a new kingdom. Their aliveness and growth have begun following different laws. Their guides are nature spirits and devas, beings mostly unseen by human eyes, fairies, elves, gnomes, and all the little people who inhabit Earth. Mother's mystery are their friends. If you are among the fortunate few, You may be able to cross from your human spiritual world into theirs through an opening you create by your belief in their existence. But whether or not you see fairies, elves, and such, you can still honor the life you do see, the plants, trees, and stones of Earth's body. Think of crystals and gems as the crystallization of the purest consciousness bequeathed to us by our ancestors. You may think of crystal as Christ all, a stone created by a Christed consciousness, a clear consciousness of total love. Stones are very sacred. But who can tap this consciousness from stone? Only those seeking the Christ light within themselves. Each gem and stone is an individual entity with a lesson of its own to teach. And I want you to understand how long it takes for these gems to be formed in the earth's core, in the earth's mantle, in the earth's crust. I want you to think of what has to go to pressurize diamonds and sapphires and rubies and emeralds. I'm not just talking about crystallized crystalline rocks, beloveds. I want you to really pay attention to the containers and what these things contain. We look at it and say, oh, pretty. The color's pretty. There is a sound. There is a scent. There is a tone. There is wisdom in that rock, in that stone that you can connect with. If you recognize the spirit and learn to adapt to the communication that is available beyond personality. See, spirit doesn't talk to personality because personality is an illusion. Personality ain't real. You can come up with 5 different personalities in 2 seconds. Spirit deals with spirit. Spirit don't deal with personalities. Recognize. Deconstruct your personalities. Get to your naked spirit, to your innocence, that which incarnated here, that which recognizes itself in everything and everybody. Each gem and stone is an individual entity with a lesson of its own to teach. And each one is also a jewel in the conscious living body of Mother Earth herself. Mother Earth is a very luxurious being, though she may appear quite simple on the surface. Her treasures, like your own, are within. They take some digging and polishing to uncover. She also has gifts of gold and silver to give you, precious metals, ores, oils, and woods. Most often we receive these gifts in our modern lives after they have been manufactured into products by others. It is easy for us to forget Earth's part in their creation. And it is particularly easy to forget the aliveness of these things. That's just like somebody writing poetry or writing stories or creating art and doing all of these things. And along comes somebody and publishes and copyrights their material but doesn't give them any credit for it. They take full copyright, credit, payment, whatever for it. That's the same thing we do with the earth. When we turn this into that and that, we forget that it came from the earth. The earth formed this. This is from the earth. This is from the Creator. No, it's not. Johnny gave this to me. He had to work 5 years and this and that. Got it on layaway and nee. Creator, Great Spirit, created the raw materials, created the consciousness, created the crystallized form, the ability for it to manifest and be manipulated and manifested and molded so that it could be a trinket for you to appreciate. And just think it came from so and so and so at some so and so store and did not come from the earth itself. Recognition. We need to recognize. We need to appreciate. And not lose track of that. It does matter. Her treasures like your own are within. They take some digging and polishing to uncover. She also gives gifts of gold and silver to you. Precious metals, ores, oils, and woods. Most often we receive these gifts in our modern lives after they have been manufactured into products by others. It is easy for us to forget Earth's part in their creation, and it is particularly easy to forget the aliveness of these things. Native people once understood that for every process they put a natural object through, they must make up for its loss of aliveness or consciousness by replacing it with their own. By simply, when they polish and shape a stone, changing its former integrity, they add their loving desire to create according to an inspired vision. In other words, they put their spirit into each object. I just recently cooked for my family. I mean cooked, okay? Wearing you out cooking, okay? That kind of cooking. And it is really humbling. And it is really a service of love. And it is that service of love that gives you the strength and the energy and the stamina to go on, because as you're whipping these eggs and stirring this and doing that, you're doing it with love. You put love in it. And that's why when the food is eaten, it's, oh, this is good. This is good. That's because you didn't put all that love into it. This is what this is talking about, beloveds. Put your love into things, okay? Even things that are no longer alive. The food that was dead meat. I dressed that meat. I marinated that meat. I talked to that meat. I patted that meat. Baby, I loved that meat. What you thought? When they put that meat on that grill, baby, lip smacking good, okay? Why? What kind of recipe you got? Love. Unconditional love. Just that simple. I wanted to. And it showed. It came through. That frequency and spectrum got into that food. And they were able to taste it, smell it, and enjoy it. Understand the power you have. Understand what you contain. Understand what you hold. And when you can hold unconditional love, it's vast beyond knowing. And it'll make you do things you thought you never would or never could. It empowers you. It is the truest gift. Today we think of artists and craftspeople doing this, but in native lives every process was art. A builder talked to the trees and stones, requesting them to give up their form to become a dwelling. With their agreement, she would proceed, adding her love every step of the way. The finished product was then a living thing, a dwelling filled with life energy. You can intuitively sense this energy in any handcrafted item. So I want you to understand what the memorial was all about. And when Jesus said, "Do this in remembrance of me," this is my flesh, the flat bread, the bread of Passover. And this wine, this is my blood. Understand what it stands for. Understand what it represents. Understand what goes into making it, what goes into drinking it at that particular time. You are connecting with the frequency and spectrum of the greatest love there is, that was shown to you by the resurrection, that you are not left alone in death. You can transcend that too. That is the love of the Great Spirit. But you've got to be able to feel that, radiate that, and house that. You got to be able to hold that. You can't be allergic to it, okay? Because your personality don't like it. What about present-day mass-produced items? These are for the most part dead. They have often been taken, no doubt, without asking permission from the earth, as raw materials in a disgraceful and ungrateful way. Nothing has been given back to the earth in return for her treasures, her body laid bare, unloved, unrespected. And this is why we suffer, because we bring this upon ourselves, because we create all of this stuff in an unloving manner and in a loving way. And we think that these things, because they look pretty on the outside or they appear a certain way, they're dead, they're lifeless, there's no spirit in them. And when you try to love something that's dead and spiritless, you become dead and spiritless, because whatever that is going to drain that love out of you. Because love is alive. The materials are handled by a series of unhappy, underpaid, uninspired workers, ignorant of their role in this crime. More humans are also suffering from this disrespect and feel the lack it causes in their lives. Try to make up for it by charging a lot of money to replace the worth that has been stolen. You simply, needing a tool or wanting a tiny pleasure, purchase the goods. And then you become part of this chain. You have traded your work-earned money for a pretty and useful but dead thing. From you, it will ask for life. If you value it, love it, care for it, use it fully for its purpose and thank the elements from which it is made. You will have given back the consciousness it was lacking. Ideally, you will then pass it on antique shining for the patina of having aged with care, or you will bury it once again to become the body of Earth Mother, restoring it to its original source. You may have and enjoy all the gold and riches of the earth. You may acquire as many possessions as you wish. Your power and theirs comes only from loving them and using them with your own high consciousness. Any object can empower you if you treat it as an entity with whom you have a relationship. Any object can steal your life energy if you are unaware of its life process. It was not taken from earth and created respectfully. You must understand that it will haunt you with its desperate need. Foods are gifts from Mother Earth, too. It is possible, easiest here, to see that you end up healthier if you garden, cook, and eat simply and with love. If you eat highly processed, chemicalized foods from abused soil, your body must simply give up its life force to them. Youth has an abundance of life force, and the results of sugar, soft drink, abused animal, pesticide, vegetable diet can go unnoticed for years. But balance will come either through human awareness and change or disintegration of the body, causing death and transformation back into those simple living organisms that create nutrients for earth, dust to dust. You must see the circle of life. There is absolutely no taking without giving. I have I have elaborated on the suit of stones because we live in a very material consuming society and do not see our part in the process. The current technological culture doesn't want to recognize death, decay, disintegration, and transformation. You see that with artificial intelligence, okay? That oxymoron. The, every precaution is taken against seeing or talking about the end, because the end is not seen to be also the beginning, or a boar swallowing its tail. But it is. All forms change into new forms. Age becoming youth, death becoming life, disease becoming health, goods becoming earth, earth becoming us. There can be no true hoarding of anything. You can only have as long as you care for. Loving care of anything, your body, your relationships, your house, your car, your toothbrush, your talent, is all that keeps it going. Leave anything alone without your consciousness maintaining it, and it will soon be gone, changed into something else. So, beloveds, recognizing and deconstructing the world's boxes and cages, you consciously need to understand what is containing you. And what is containing you, what you give the power to contain you, has the power to control you, has the power to condition you, groom you, and change you from your spiritual design into a personality, into a person. Okay? And that person becomes enslaved in this world. You cannot enslave a expanding conscious spirit. Can't do it. That frequency and spectrum cannot be enslaved. It will keep expanding its freedom through wisdom, through consciousness, through manifesting circumstances and situations for you to learn from, for you to recognize, for you to understand that you rule over yourself. You have sovereignty. That nobody has the right to put you in a box or a cage or a world where you have no spiritual freedom. That's a choice. To have, you must hold. Hold gently and kindly in your mind and the image of loving respect for all beings and all things. Then they will love you and give life to you as well. Leave anything alone without your consciousness maintaining it, and it will soon be gone, changed into something else. When we leave our consciousness or shut down our consciousness or turn our consciousness off or reject our consciousness, we become depressed. We become the opposite of what we were created to be. We become lesser vessels. We become lesser versions, lesser frequencies and spectrums and essences of spiritual unconditional love. Recognize and choose, beloveds. Now, finally, we are going to the Ace of Stones. That card. I don't see where I put the card, but I did show it at the beginning, so it is there. Here we go, beloveds. Ace of Stones, seed of prosperity. This is the prayer. Great Spirit, I accept your offering. I am thankful for these material gifts you place before me so abundantly. Mother Earth provides all that I need. The gifts of my ancestors lay within her arms. Your crystal of inspiration calls me to create from the wealth that surrounds me. Lesson: the grandmothers and grandfathers have given their life and consciousness to Earth for us. This is why the mountains and plains are sacred. The native people are the land. Others died that we may live. The earth is alive with their consciousness. Earth has embodied every god and goddess who walked the planet. She has received into her body every prophet and savior, every Amazon and warrior, every seer and simple peasant. She is rich with resources. She says now, open your eyes and receive the gift of true understanding from which abundance comes. Prosperity is formed of right relationship to earth. Open yourself to becoming aware. Sorry about that. Open yourself to becoming aware of the wealth of resources surrounding you. Life is everywhere at your command. If you are currently experiencing lack or burden in the material realm, do the following. Look at your possessions. As you observe each one, ask yourself, do I feel thankful for this? 2. Immediately get rid of anything from which you are not thankful. Pass it on to someone who will be glad to receive it, or give it back to the earth. 3. Observe your feelings. Have they changed? Do you still need something? If not, the problem is solved. 4. If you still need something, visualize the thing you desire. Imagine yourself through the whole cycle of appreciating the earthly elements from which it is made, seeing it carefully created, receiving it gladly, giving something you value in return for it, using it fully, and returning it to earth to pass it on. 5. Relax. The seed has been planted and will grow. You have given it life. And that is that card, beloveds, and let us move on because we have more cards. The next card is coming from the Chakra Oracle deck, and the card that came forward is Joy. Joy. And as I always do, I'm going to read what the yellow suit represents. Overall impression, intellectual. It's funny because something told me to put this as a background instead of just the black today. So I'm like, okay. And this yellow, lemon yellow, came from my grandmother. And so it's just everywhere in my house. And it's just, it gives me the sunshine in so many different ways. Overall impression, intellectual, keywords, creative, intellect, precise, cooperative, reasonable, innovation, originality, wisdom, and instinct. Manifesting intention. The yellow cards of the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, revealed our planning processes. Do we have a logical or a scattered approach? Because they represent thinking and problem solving. Yellow cards reveal our ability to resolve issues. In essence, they show what's on our mind. In yellow, we turn on the lights and let the spirits know we are home. If we don't let them know where we are, they cannot bring us our desires. Ultimately, the third chakra relates to our instinct and to how our life is directed by it. When we can see how our instinct guides our thoughts, we will understand why we do what we do. And when it relates to our emotion, instincts is frequently the first thing that gets shut down. Remember what I said. Look to the previous chakra, the second chakra in this case, if you feel blocked. Every decision we have ever made is made in a flash, to move forward or to stop. There is a moment, a split second, in which we decide. In this chakra, you decide if you will allow magic into your life. Joy is the third card in the yellow portion of this. Dancing Daisy. Let's just jump and see what happens. The legend. We don't know much about Dancing Daisy, but we do know that she brings joy wherever she appears. Everyone who sees her becomes happier and more peaceful. Arguments cease as she comes close. People are even healed physically as a result of her presence. No one knows where she came from, and just because the TV crews arrive, she leaves. Just before the TV crews arrive, she leaves. Inspiration. Dancing Daisy represents a new joyous phase in your life and a significant change, such as a move, a new job, or a marriage. This is the moment after the leap. You may not see where you are going, but you will land on your feet. Personal inquiry. What can I do to invite happiness into my life? Being present is not the same as truly experiencing something. That is deep. Being present is not the same as truly experiencing something. There are degrees to which I allow myself in the past to experience certain things. There are only degrees. So that means there are only degrees of my presence that is present. The absolute minimum or full force. When full force is there, whoa. I can walk into a room and every head will turn. And it's not something I'm consciously doing, it's just something that I've noticed. I've noticed the different degrees to which I choose to be present in this world, in conversations, in relationships, even doing these videos. And so it's very deep for this card to show up. And you do this, this is instinct. This is not done for cameras. You know, she disappears when the cameras come out. That's because she's totally authentic. Being present is not the same as truly experiencing something. Key ideas: a conduit for joy, detached from joy, higher purpose, profoundly impacting lives, improved health, a birth. Keywords: joy, playfulness, delight. Meditation: sit with Dancing Daisy. Look at her and allow her joy to fill you. Now imagine a ball of sunshine in your solar plexus. Let it expand, allowing the room to be filled with this radiant energy. Send it out to the universe with love. Things manifest quickly after touching this energy. That is that card, beloveds. Next, we have Octopus. Octopus. Octopus comes from Messages from Your Spirit Guides by Stephen D. Farmer. Here we go. Octopus. Practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. And beloveds, that also goes with your sense of presence. We can metamorph, we can transform, we can multitask. There are so many different ways of being that does not require doing. This is what we must focus on. This is what we must hone, manifest, and perfect. Being present. When you are truly present, you're present in the truth. You're present in the authenticity. Lies and illusions have a hard time in the face of true presence. Okay? Practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. All the wigs, all the different clothes, whatever things mean to you. Dress for you. Do things for you to change your appearance and your mannerisms. Okay? So that you can observe your appearance. So that you can observe your spirit. So that you can observe your persona and your personality and know the difference between them. And when you begin to notice the difference between yours, you begin to look out and notice the difference between others. Okay? To become adept at shape-shifting, is necessary to remain flexible and resilient and be willing to practice different identities by altering your way of dressing, your hairstyle, your demeanor, and your mannerisms. Particularly focus on your body language and voice qualities. Experiment by first making small changes in any of these aspects and watch what happens. You can also become skilled in modifying your aura, the energy field around your body, by intentionally contracting and expanding it. When you practice these things, sometimes even your friends won't recognize you. You can even get so good at camouflage that you become invisible to others. I lived my life invisible for a very long time. A very long time, and it's very easy to do. When you don't feel present, when you don't want to be there, when you zone out, when you take yourself away, baby, you take yourself away. Everyone has numerous personas through which they operate, and you're no different. It's a matter of being conscious of those personas, and modifying them through the art of shape shifting, just like actors do. Study other people and notice their mannerisms, clothing styles, and how they walk and carry themselves. Observe animals and their behaviors and try to mimic them. Developing this ability can help you more readily adapt to the various situations you encounter, thus enabling you to deal with them more effectively. Let yourself be an actor in your everyday life and have fun with it. Just remember who you are at the core. And I'm going to go back to the first sentence because it was so powerful. To become adept at shape-shifting, it's necessary to remain flexible and resilient and be willing to practice different identities by altering your way of dressing, your hairstyle, your demeanor, and your mannerisms. Beloveds, you have to be flexible and you have to be resilient. That means you can't let nobody shit stick to you. You can't let nobody stuff weigh you down. You got to be flexible. When they put you in the boxes, you got to be able to deconstruct that box and come out of it. Okay? You got to immediately say, nope, I don't go in that box. I don't belong in that cage. You're not going to imprison me in that. I don't care that's what you want to think about me, fine. But I'm not going in there. I'm not sitting in there. No. Now, I know why the cage birds. No. I don't want to know why the cage birds sing. Nope. I ain't no cage bird. Nope. Ain't gonna do it. Sorry. Not sorry. Octopus. Flexibility and resilience. The number 8. Okay, mama. And let's see. Associations with octopus: disguise, secretiveness, camouflage, solitude, evolvement, flexibility, regeneration, protection, intelligence, sacrifice, efficiency. You've come upon intelligence from 2 different decks, beloveds. Next, we're going to get into Esther Hicks, the Vortex. Card number 52. Feeling negative emotions means I'm launching requests. Hear that. Feeling negative emotions means that I'm launching requests. And just as I was reading that, I saw somebody with a fishing hook baiting their fish with their negative feelings and casting it out into the water, waiting on someone to make them feel worse. Feeling negative emotions means I'm launching requests. Number 52, which is a 7. As more people observe hardship and strike a tense, resistant pose, and therefore disallow their own well-being, others use them as their reason to do the same. And in a very short time, a very negative pattern of resistance can sweep through your population. The good news in this scenario is that in every moment that every person is feeling negative emotion about the economic state, vibrational requests for more abundance are launched, And those requests are heard clearly and responded to immediately by source. That is the law of attraction, understanding polarity and duality, and understanding the law of struggle. In order to go fully into the darkness of struggle, you have to bring with you the light of hope. And the more deeper you go into the darkness and shadow of struggle, the brighter you have to shine your hope. And you just have to sit there with hope, and hope will brighten all of that up. Hope will push the shadows back. Hope will give hope to the shadows. Okay? Hope will lift your spirits. So understand you are never just one thing without the other thing, without its opposite. Okay? And that's cosmic law. The next card is number 48, which is 12. I intend to see the best in everyone. Wow. Deep card. I intend to see the best in everyone. You can see consistently, you can never consistently motivate anybody to anything. But when you see the best of them, and you go over to where your version of the best of them is, and you align with that and offer one signal, now you are part of the inspiration you see. Have you ever had that experience yourself, when someone sees you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you never shined before? And you do not find it really hard to shine when another does look for the best in you. That is so true. With unconditional love and encouragement, there is nothing a child cannot achieve. There is nothing a human being cannot achieve. There's nothing an animal will not achieve. Okay? Simply because it's being given the encouragement. It has someone that believes in it. And that makes it find the depths, find the foundation of its own hope that it incarnated with, and to give it its all. And that's a beautiful thing to witness that and to be a part of that. The next card is number 8. 8's an octopuses, okay. The universal law of attraction is managing my expansion. Look at that. The law of attraction is the universal manager of all vibration, which expands to everything that exists through the universe. And so, at the same time that the law of attraction is responding to the vibrational content of your physical thoughts, it is also responding to the vibrational content of your inner being. How deep is that? How deep is that? Understanding the law of attraction is the universal manager of all vibration. Okay? Every vibration that exists, every vibration that creates a frequency and a spectrum, that creates a vibration. The law of attraction manages that. Okay? And so you need to become aware of what the law of attraction is and how to use that law in your life to manifest and benefit not only yourself but humanity, to serve. Again, we have the number 8 and all those eyes and the balls. Okay, next card. Number 54, which is a 9. I must focus on wanted to manifest wanted. Deep. I must focus on wanted to manifest wanted. We would never go so far as to say that what behavior of others is responsible for the way you feel, because you have the power to focus and therefore attract, despite the behavior of others in your environment. If every time you see something unwanted, you realize that in that same moment, your awareness of something wanted is keener, and you quickly turn your attention in the direction of the newly emphasized want, everything in your experience will continue to improve. How powerful is that? How powerful is it to know that instead of focusing on what you don't want, to focus on what you do want, to retrain your direction, to recast your bait, okay, so to speak. 55, which is a 5. By my attraction to things, I am making choices. Oh, I love this card. By my choices to things, I am making choices. Love the way she's molding that in her hands. And it's connected to her mind and her heart and in her hands. What people do not understand is what you do not choose. Something by looking at it and shouting, yes, I would like some of that. You make your choices by your attention to things. In this universe that is based on attraction, when you look at an unwanted thing, your attention to it causes an activation of the vibration within you. And then the law of attraction brings more like it into your experience. That's something that I had to seriously learn. Beloveds, that is something I had to seriously master. And that was understanding how deep and how powerful my frequency and spectrum of attracting are. And when I want something, even if I don't want something, and that's what I'm focusing on, oh, it comes back in so many different ways. It's the same thing that I don't want. It's the same exact thing. It's just in a different form, in a different shape, in a different color, in a different essence, in a different flavor, in different seasonings. But it's the same thing that I'm like, no, I don't want, nope. And so I've learned, put that way over there out the way somewhere, bury it somewhere. And no, we don't keep go digging it up and thinking of, no. And when the mind wants to keep wandering over it, no, come back. No. Focus on something else. Create something else. What do you really want? That's the key. What do you really want? Not what you don't want. Don't spend no time thinking about what you don't want. Think about what you really want. You want peace. You want peace from what you don't want. So every time that, I don't want that, I want peace from that. And it'll come. 48. Another 48. So we got two 48s. No, we ain't had two 48s. Okay. I intend to see the best in everyone. I'm having a deja vu with 48. 48 is a 12, which is also 3. Interesting. I intend to see the best in everyone. That's a deep card, guys. That's a really deep card. It's like a light being reaching out to the shadow being and seeing it and saying, I see you outside of myself, and we're corded, and all this is very deep card. Three dimensions. Okay. You can never consistently motivate anybody to anything, but when you see the best of them, you go over to where your version of the best of them is, and you align with that and offer one signal. I did read this card before. It wanted again. Okay. Now you are part of the inspiration you see. Have you ever had the experience yourself with someone, when someone sees you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you never shined before? And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? Oh, mama. The last sentence. And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? When we don't look for the best in each other, we don't come out shining the way we usually do. There are a few others who, oh, you gonna underestimate me? Let me show you. That's persona. Spiritually, if someone is there to expand your spiritual consciousness awareness through their own frequencies and spectrums, they're multiplying. You expand, you become vaster, you do more, you do better. There's more love. Thank you, Mama. Okay, where were we? We were making choices. What people do not understand is that you do not choose something by looking at it and shouting, yes, I would like some of that. Okay, that is such a deep lesson for me, because in the age that we live in right now, we have been conditioned, groomed, programmed to go after it. Women to say what they're feeling, and to ask a man out, and all this other stuff. This is very deep. Okay, this is very deep. Yes, I would like some of that. You make your choices by your attention to things in this universe that is based on attraction. When you look at an unwanted thing, your attention to it causes an activation of the vibration within you. That's deep. So you're turning something on within you when you start focusing on something that you don't want. You're activating something within yourself. And then the law of attraction brings more like it into your experience. We're being told, beloveds, we're being told how to wield the frequencies and spectrums. We got just a few more. cards, beloveds. The next card comes from the Isis Oracle deck. It is the very last card in the deck, and it's called Wings of Isis, Uniting with the Angelic Self. And this is very deep because this has been uniting with the angelic self has been a common theme lately, especially 2024 with the revelations, with the shedding of old skins, with the higher frequencies and higher spectrums of light and sound awareness. Uniting the angelic self and uniting with the angelic self. Let's see what we have here, what kind of wisdom we have here, beloveds. Get a sip of water. Okay. Wings of Isis, uniting with the angelic self. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. This oracle brings you angelic assistance and intervention and confirmation that any impressions you may have had that you belong not only to the human kingdom, but also to the angelic one, are correct. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds and are helping to birth angelic qualities of fearlessness, light, service to the greater good, and alignment of divine will into human form. This is no small task, and although you are well equipped to succeed, there are beings that wish to assist you so that they may grow too, and your success may be more graceful and swift. Isis, divine winged mother, goddess and angel of healing, wishes to assist you with unconditional love now. You are guided to accept angelic assistance and ask for Lady Isis, who loves you unconditionally, to assist you with integrating angelic energies into your consciousness and life. You will be asked to lift yourself up to higher and higher states of awareness, and this may mean letting go of certain relationships, practices, or states of being, or even particular habits or thought patterns that would lower your vibration into fear, doubt, or shame. Give yourself permission. Just let this happen. You do not need to force anything. It is a matter of softening, allowing, and trusting what feels right with you. Absolute faith and bold radical acceptance. It will be okay. There are others like you on this planet, beloved initiate. Though far from the majority, you occupy a special role in the evolution of human consciousness as it connects more deeply and twines with the natural world. The more you accept this part of you, the more you shall draw into your world others like you. You will just feel comfortable with each other because you all hold a similar refined vibration. Even in the midst of ordinary everyday relationship, there is a sense of easy connection, mutual understanding, and spiritual acknowledgement. This oracle is also a confirmation that if you have been asking to connect with your angel, praying to a particular angel or archangel, or have been thinking more about angels lately, the genuine connection has been made between you and the angelic realm. The angels send you love and peace now and say, "We are with you, beloved one." That is so interesting because in my last Blog Talk radio show, I pulled from a couple of decks that I don't usually pull from. And one of those decks was the Archangel Raphael's healing deck of healing. And so that's very powerful. I'll show you the back of the card because the snakes, the dragons, like I said, what comes forth. This is one of the cards. Laughter is the best medicine. That card came forth on the Blog Talk Radio show. Ritual of the Wings of Isis. You can use a feather for this exercise or a small crystal. Sit quietly and connect with your breath. Feel the breath flowing in through the body and out into the earth. Say, I honor the light in this sacred body of mine, this body that belongs to light in nature, this body that contains the angelic consciousness of divine love. Feel where your body connects with the earth, even through the cushion or seat upon which you are sitting, even if you are many stories high above the earth in an apartment building. Intend to feel the connection, the light and energy in your body that connects you to the earth. Breathe in and out again, feeling the breath flowing deeply out of the back of your heart chakra, in your upper back and out through the crown of your head. Say, I honor the wings of light and life that allow my body and soul to take flight, to live as angel and human upon this earth, in service of love and peace and power. Feel the breath flowing in and out of the heart chakra, especially at the back now. Feel it flowing as wings out of your upper back. Just let there be expansiveness and a feeling of great natural extension and space. When you are ready, say, I call upon the angelic forces of light within and in the celestial realms. And I called upon divine love, unconditional love. Help me activate the angel within, with grace, with light, with divine compassion of my own free will. I allow this to be an unconditional love for all of humanity. Breathe in and out and rest your awareness in your heart. Just feel the light and peace and beauty in your heart, underneath any fear, doubt, or insecurity. It is just there. Rest in that awareness for a moment. Bring your attention now to your sacred object on the ground before you, your crystal or feather. Move your right hand so it hovers lightly above the object. With your left hand on your heart, say aloud, I ask that blessings of Isis on the wings of Isis, through the healing power of Isis, come to me now. Fill this sacred object with your beauty, dear angel goddess, that every time I see it, I may remember the angel within me. Be aware of the energy flowing from your heart to the object. And when you are ready, place the object in a special place where you can notice it often. As you place it down, lightly touch it with your right hand and say, whenever I see you, I will remember that I am an angel true, that angels love and assist me, and Isis is with me too. Close your eyes for a moment and take a breath in and out. When you are ready, just open your eyes. And this is the incantation. Angel goddess wings of white, help my angelic soul take flight. I call upon angelic intervention. Align my life with divine perfection. My soul and inner angel are one. In my body, integration has begun. Angel goddess wings of love, you protect me from below and above. And that is that card, beloveds. The next card is from the 2013 Oracle, and it is the Celestial Toad, the Guardian Spirit. Celestial Toad, the Guardian Spirit. And it has the number 4. Celestial Toad has powers to play with conceptual thought waves and other designs of cognition. She is regarded with awe. She is wise and sees the sacred in all things. The temple priests and priestesses are vomited from the mouth of the great toad. She wears the yellow spotted coat of the jaguar. This means that she has brought the sacrament of transcendent consciousness. Mind blowing, okay? Mind blowing. Jaguar woman, mind blowing. She wears the yellow spotted coat of the jaguar. This means that she has brought the sacrament of transcendent consciousness. Amphibian, water and air. When seeking to treat the imbalances and spiritual maladies that lead to mental unease and disease, there is no better power to call upon than Celestial Toad. Celestial Toad sends protection to spiritual seekers and lights the way to spiritual truth. She is the night sky and renews our life as part of the night-day cycle. She is the one who feathered knives from above. She is the one with feathered knives from above. She is found as a constellation of stars. She awakens in the silence and in the darkness. Your acceptance of Celestial Toad takes you into the world of no boundaries. Celestial Toad is often called the birth canal, meaning that she births you to a heightened state of awareness. Celestial Toad is an excellent diviner and has the power to isolate and transform danger when it is near. She is the power by your left side. Celestial Toad can warn of earthquakes, meteor strikes, or other natural disasters. Forewarned is forearmed. She is keeper of many secret disciplines and is mistress of many lost energetic realms. She is associated with healing at a distance. She is the mistress of the subtle use of various kinds of bewitching animal and plant substances. And I just want to say this because I often, before there are natural events such as earthquakes, the solar eclipses, certain full moons, just certain shifts and changes, even in the solstices, my body is sensitive to these things. And I am aware. And when I was a child, I was around elders whose bodies, the women and men, their bodies could tell you not only when it was going to storm, how many days out it was, all of this. And it was always just very powerful to me. And so now I understand that. And number 4. And this card. And understanding the constellation and the night skies. And what it holds. And navigating that. physically, spiritually, psychically, mentally, emotionally. The human body knows, and you need to pay attention. Because it is a warning. It is part of the survival of your instincts and your intuition that have passed on. So instead of calling yourself a freak and weird and this and that and the other, and really hating your body when you start to ache and hurt when these things are getting ready to happen, understand that it is a warning. And that your body or your DNA, someone in your ancestry carried these intuitions as warnings for the people to help them survive, storms, earthquakes, natural disasters, to understand when the solstices and all of this was taking place. There are feelings within the body if you are in tune and aligned, and you understand that, you make room for it. We are wonderfully made, beloveds. There are massive toad altars, and there are stellar carvings that show the toad with exaggerated glands behind her head. In these depictions, scrolls swirl out of the body. These denote a non-ordinary state. The giant toad produces a powerful hallucinogen known as bufotenine through these large glands, bufotenine, bufotenine. Temple priests harvested a white juice from these toads. This was done by holding them tightly while searing the creature between the eyes with the glowing tip of a hot stick. The juice that was then freed from toad was scraped from the glands. It was gathered at the dark of the moon. The powerful psychochemicals were mixed with pulverized tobacco. The vision-producing snuff was then inhaled, and thus was an accelerated monorail ride to other dimensions. It was a shotgun blast across time to the locus of the God principle. The beings of this new territory often presented the voyager with gifts. One might see into the future or be cured of a disease. However, an encounter with the lords or ladies of this other world were not always pleasant. Information obtained in this manner might reveal painful truths. Look to this card to help you express latent powers before they become dormant and are never capable of being used. Celestial Toad tells you to use them or lose them. This card offers you a new world of opportunity and hidden energetic capabilities. Follow these newly awakened powers, but keep silent when you go for it. Nurturing is in the cards. Celestial Toad may bring out your mothering instincts, no matter if you are female or male. Communion with Celestial Toad has the power to sharpen creative vision. You do not have to sell out to dark powers. You can walk the earth roads in balance with light and dark. One must reckon with Toad's life force. Toad is heavily associated with the ball game and ball courts. The Toad card may help you to see how to deal with the competition, how guidance can be useful in both physical and spiritual realms. Celestial Toad always tells you to hop to it. And that is that card. Next, beloveds, we have cards from Journey of Love by Elena Fairchild. And there were, I believe, 4. The first card is number 43. The bride offers herself. Look at those colors. The bride offers herself. Number 43, which is a 7. Okay. There is a sacred offering taking place, an offering of the divine feminine. She is offering herself to the mystery unfolding. This may manifest in a physical way, in that a woman of great feminine wisdom is offering herself to you in friendship, love, spiritual companionship, or service in some way. This may manifest in a spiritual gift from the Divine Mother in the form of life, circumstance, or situation. Whether it is immediately recognized as a gift or not, to accept this offering as a bridegroom accepting his bride with love, reverence, and respect will bring good fortune. This oracle offers you a message. Accept what is being offered now, whether through challenge or an easing of the way forward. There's a gift of grace from the divine feminine reaching for you now. Allow her in and be blessed. This oracle also heralds a time of importance in relationship. You have been revealing yourself and not being afraid of who and what you are, sharing yourself in willingness to connect. Your vulnerability and beauty is acknowledged and will attract the response you need at the perfect time and in the perfect way. Every bride shall have her bridegroom. How careful we must close, how fragile we must feel, how sad not to be when someone is real. To say approach with caution when we already know that inside there's a likeness and experience goes slow. That's that card. The next card, beloveds. This shirt keeps creeping up. The cloak. Number 50, the cloak. Let's see what it has to say. Around you, there is a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it has served you for a time as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside to find out what you truly feel, what you truly need, to find yourself after being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Yet the time is fast approaching when you will no longer require that cloak. You have attained an integration within, a knowledge of self that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You have learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in and play. The message that this oracle brings to you is that you can safely release the forms of security that once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional that you can enter into relationship with more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need when you need it, without having to withdraw from the relationship entirely. It is time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you whilst actively engaging in deeper relationship. You'll have fun. Loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and no place to go. And that is that card, Cloak. And that is so personal to me. I am going to have to meditate on this card. And it is number 50, which is a 5. Whew! There's so much there. There's so many realms here. And the word within just does not do them justice. But the aloneness and the solitude and that gold, that yellow, beloveds, that what you see right behind me, it's very powerful. And it's really speaking to me. That is ancestral for me. Again, my grandmother's name was Lemon. And she told me to decorate my house in this lemon color. And so I have. Number 58, Beauty. This is that card. Beauty. To celebrate the divine feminine is to honor her beauty, her endless bounty, and abundant creativity. You are a vehicle of her beauty. This is radiance that has nothing to do with soul-destroying cultural stereotypes based on physical appearances. It is the radiance that comes from the feeling beautiful within, of allowing all that you are to shine through you and be witnessed in the world. You are being asked to let the inner beauty become one with your physical self. You don't have to change the way you look to become more of the divine beauty that you are. You just need to change the way you look at yourself. Behold the divine within you. That is so powerful. And that is such a personal message for me. Simply because of being raped and molested and being a fat girl and all of these things. Beauty has always been a word that meant more than just what you see on the outside. Beauty is what radiates, what glows. It is the unseen presence felt without being seen. That to me is the most beautiful thing in the world. That's why I can look at nature and the presence of God is so there. It's just beautiful beyond words. And if you were to ask me, well, what makes it beautiful? I would always tell you the presence of God there, seen, felt. It's not so much this particular flower or that particular color or this particular animal or none of that. It's the energy, it's the essence. It's the relatability to the beautiful Holy Spirit. That to me is what beauty is. Take your time and fall in love. Wait a minute. Okay. You are in the process of healing past wounds about your appearance, your body, and your sexuality. Finding purity in all of yourself and becoming ready to share that with others in a deeper and more open way without shame or self criticism. Take your time and fall in love with what you are. Then you can become not the victim of others' own projected shame, but the love necessary for the shame of the world to heal. This oracle indicates a significant change in self perception taking place within you, an ability to love and accept yourself more completely than you ever have before, quite simply because you have grown and there is more divinity awakened in your heart than ever before. The nature of the divine is love, and you are realizing that you don't have to change to be beautiful. Allow this development to grow swiftly and embrace your uniqueness, beloved. You are an exquisite flower in the heavenly garden. How many times I've looked in your eyes and sailed away beyond my dreams to a sheltered thought on a quiet beach where the sand is soft as flour. You may never know this place, and someday when you look in my eyes, I will tell you. Beauty. Beauty. The next card. 28, Sacred Convergence. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Sacred Convergence. Number 28, which is a 10, which is a 1. There is a coming together happening within your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. This is akin to traveling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcome at first, begin to make themselves known to you. If you are experiencing discomfort within your own body, or an uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It is like two worlds or more colliding. If you are sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to, or upon which to hang an explanation. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into relationships with them, apparently more by circumstance than your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow and something to rejoice in. Even if it is uncomfortable at times, be gentle and loving with yourself, and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself in your interactions and experiences. You are a wise soul, seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. Remember your divine perfection as you are thrilled and challenged in this time of great growth. You are guided to be challenged in this time of great growth. You are guided to be curious as though traveling to a foreign land and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety, or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry. You are a unique plant in the divine garden. You don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day, and the growth happens naturally. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It will be a revelation to be relished. For the white foam on the surface of blue to the mystery beneath the waves, wherever your travels may lead, may the artist's touch inspire us to explore the ocean realm and celebrate the beauty as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. Sacred Convergence. We're down to the last two cards, beloveds. 13 is Gifts Received. Gifts Received. Thirteen is a 4. Relax. It's okay to accept what is coming your way now. Gentle your soul. Steady your heart. Even the most precious treasures can be received by you. Why not? Are you not built of the same stuff as that treasure, beloved? This goes right back to the very first card, beloveds, that came from the Medicine Woman deck, the Ace of Stones card. Even the most precious treasure can be received by you. Why not? Are you not built of the same stuff as that treasure, beloved? It's all love, after all. That is all there is. Enjoy, accept, rest in the knowledge that you are being invited into a sanctuary of abundance, peaceful rest and replenishment now. It's just time. This oracle holds a message for you. The universe is trying to get something to you. More abundance, more love, an answer to a prayer. Sometimes the healing comes in unexpected packages. Sometimes we try so hard to find the answer, exerting so much effort to receive, that we make things harder for ourselves than they need to be. So relax, have some fun, be at peace. Everything is working out just fine, and there's a nice surprise coming your way. The wind blows softly through grass and my open heart. Love, unexpected. That is that card. That is so deep. Okay, I'm going to show you what was just shown to me. Okay. This is a being. Almost like a baby, almost like a caterpillar. Almost like a seed or an embryo. This is a bird. Like a vulture. Gifts received. That's very powerful. Very powerful. Especially since these two, I'll call them halo frequencies, are above what I call the bird, the being and the bird's head. The being and the bird's head. And white light. It's a very deep card. Last card, beloveds, is Her Grace. Oh, I love this card. 17. Her Grace. And that's also an 8, beloveds. Her grace. And I always see like the dandelion and a lion's face. Okay, number 17, which is an 8. Okay, this is our last card, beloveds. Thank you so much for your patience. And pause the video. Is 2 hours long, so pause it. Remember where you cut it off at if YouTube doesn't do that. And while I'm talking about YouTube, please subscribe, and also you can put the notice bell will let you know when I'm made new videos. Okay? Her grace. The goddess is awakening within your life. It may be within your own body, within a sensual deepening of relationship with your own body or with the body of another, through expanding creativity, a sudden burst of feeling that you cannot logically explain, a desire to move, to dance, to express yourself, to sing, to write music, to draw, to play in nature, to swim, to collect shells and lie on your back in the moonlight, gazing at the stars. Let her reach you. She is calling to you from ancient times, calling you to allow her more deeply into your life. Celebrate the divine feminine. She is coming to life for you. Whether man or woman, your life is about to be touched by her magic, never to be the same again. This oracle brings you a message. There is a woman who brings divine blessing into your life, who is trying to connect with you more deeply. The blessing may be one that is obvious or one that is hidden in a challenge. The woman may be your own body, if you are female, or your own inner female, if you are male. It may be a spiritual or physical being, the great mother, your lover, your sister, or your dearest friend. It may be a woman as yet unknown to you, but who holds a soul contract with you, an agreement predestined to awaken you. The empowerment will come to you not by rejection, not by rejecting what is offered by this feminine presence, but by embracing it and finding your truth through it. This is exciting because it means you are growing. You are entering into the feminine temples of wisdom and finding a home there. I was born long before our time, and yet my time with you is something new. For you awaken in me a spirit that was longing for release, waiting for your touch. I thought I was safe to stay inside the boundaries and walls I carried with me. You touched all of me, and we walked outside the lines together. I just think that is so beautiful. That just gets me every time. And again, this is the card, Her Grace. Well, beloveds, that is going to do it for today's show. Recognizing and deconstructing this world's boxes and cages. And beloveds, I just want to add a few more things to this, and that is a lot. If you blend together all the messages from all the cards and from this topic itself, I really want you to come to your own conclusions on what the focus of this message was, what the focus of this topic was. And I want to, for me, it has been a great part of it is how the divine feminine has been reduced, captured, placed inside a box, in a cage, in a prison, in a cell. Okay? And that we are a time in the cosmic evolution of our spiritual expanding conscious awareness, where we are to deconstruct those boxes, those cages, those cells, those reasons, that valuation, those powers and principalities that have placed her, that keep her, that have assigned and ascribed these kind of boundaries, okay? Not only these kind of boundaries, but these kind of boundaries as a weapon to silence her, to only keep her as an object to be viewed from whatever your viewpoint is. Whatever your viewpoint is. Whatever sense, whatever instincts you have towards the divine feminine. And that instinct, that direction, that wave of knowing has been given to us by the patriarchy. It's been groomed into us. It's been forced fed into us through the toys, through the entertainment, through the food, through the job systems and institutions, through the religious institutions. And everything is to keep its foot on her neck. Everything is to keep her back within her cage, feeling shame and ashamed. And everything that we have been given today has been to recognize her and to deconstruct the world's boxes and cages that we have backed her into. And to understand that if we want balance, we have to bring the divine feminine into the picture. There is no balancing anything without the divine feminine, without wisdom, without the Holy Spirit, without the mothering nature, without the mothering nurture, without the communication system, cycles, seasons, ways of the divine feminine. There is no communication without her. And you can't talk over her head. And you can't just cover your head for every little thing because you're in the presence of a man. And you have to cover yourself because even the angels will look upon you and want you. Cover your head. Shame on you. You're a woman. You bleed. Shame on you. Shame on you for not being able to cover your head with wisdom. Shame on you for not humbling yourself to the Holy Spirit and wanting to take her place as Babylon the Great, the great whore. Shame on you. And I see you. And I don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. Never have. Never have, never will. And that's by grace. That's not by personality or persona. And I have them more than I'm able to number, more than I'm able to name. Personalities and personas, oh baby, I'm an old soul. But all of that takes a back seat to the Holy Spirit and to the temple, to the womb space that is hers, for her to navigate and to move and to lead and direct and to open and to close. Personalities have to sit down and shut up. Mine and everybody else's. I don't put other people's above neither. I ain't trying to be your friend. I ain't gotta diminish me to admire you or to validate you. No. No, 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 no. And that's where, like I said, recognizing, we've got to really recognize the cages that we build for ourselves. Those cages come in forms of pain. They come in forms of ignorance. They come in the form of words like at least. Well, at least this, and that. Well, this is true, but at least. At least. What about at most? If you speak in the language of at least, you're going to always be in deficit because that's what you're speaking into your existence. At least. When you began to unconditionally love yourself and you began to expand your spiritual conscious awareness and you began to recognize what consciousness is and how it expands, what expands it and what contracts it, what opens it up and what closes it, what widens it and what narrows it. You become a master of frequency, spectrum, vibrations. You become present. Not only are you present, but you're aware. You're able to multitask and do multiple things. Consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously. And you understand that everything is connected. And sometimes things have to come together and there has to be friction in order for something to come out of that friction. And you allow the friction. You don't be so afraid of the friction. The friction is going to kill. No, it won't. Let it be what it needs to be. Trust the design, trust the designer, trust the creator, trust the great spirit. Put your faith in it. Don't put your faith in yourself. You're going to fail yourself each and every time. Why? Because one of your personalities is going to sneak up on you. And have its way. But when you put your trust and your faith in the spirit, you're not driving. You're not going in any direction. You're being led. Your hand is being held. You're walking. You're blind. You're being led. And you learn the nuances of being led. And you settle in being led. You don't say, oh, okay, that's enough of being led. Now let me lead. That don't work out. Believe me, I tried. My personality just didn't try it. It don't work. And so, beloveds, that is going to do it. That is what I wanted to say today. That is what I wanted to put forward. That is what has been bubbling up. All of this has been bubbling up inside of me for a while now. And today I was ready. So, it is what it is, and I'm just opened to it being that, and just witnessing and observing it, and understanding that it is an amazing journey. It is an amazing journey. I mean, this Mercury retrograde had things surfacing from 43 years ago. I mean, the song would come on and hit me. And that's a song, Me and My Baby Daddy, My First Love. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I remember the longing and the love of what I thought was love. The lust. What I thought was real. And here I am at this time, and I'm understanding that, baby, that wasn't real. That was in your imagination. That is what you created so lovely, so lovingly in your own head. And that's what that was. But that wasn't the truth. It was interwoven. Was your fairy tale truth, but it wasn't the truth, baby. And if you had seen the truth back then, you could have saved yourself a lot of grief and heartbreak and blah, 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 blah. But then again, beloveds, you have to understand that, like I said a couple of videos ago, you needed all of that to feed upon in order to get to where you need to be today. You needed to experience each and every breath, each and every heartbreak, each and every horror, all of it, to be where you are today, to be strong in who you are today. And that's going to do it, beloveds. Namaste. I love you. I love us. And may we grow together, beloveds.